flatmate as well. We've been working on it. Clean the reeds. Look, you can see how much we've. Look how much I've put in there. They don't collect the garden waste now unless you pay for it, so it's sort of stuck there. That's a compost heap now, basically. But look. I put little things in. A lot I need to do. I need to come in because I'm very far from the internet there. Hello, Philip. Did you see my garden? Did I cut out? That was... Look at it. It might not look like much, but that took a lot of work. It was days and days. Briefly, and then I cut out. Okay, well, briefly is enough. I have to go back inside because I'm far from the internet there. Far from madding internet. So up I go into my little enclave where I've got lights. It was hard work. I've sort of made a video of it, but I haven't edited it together because that's also hard work, and it's a long time since I did a proper video. So, ooh, back in the nice light. So I'm going to just do this here. So that took a lot of work, and I got new gardening gloves, but they were supposed to be thorn-proof, and I thought they were thorn-proof for a little while, and then I realised they're not thorn-proof. I got very, very shredded to pieces, I did. Just because also, apart from anything else, you can't, it's just, I had short sleeves, and not as short as this. They went all the way to there, and my gloves went to here. But then I kept picking things up. I got really enthusiastic. I was just picking things up and throwing them in the bin, picking them up and sweeping up and doing all sorts of stuff. And I was really, really into it. And then I was like, ow, that hurt. But it was good hard work. I had a lovely long bath earlier on in nice Dead Sea salt, and then it was nice. And now I feel a little bit better. But I still felt compelled to do a bit more sweeping after that. So I was like, no, not after you've just had a bath. You'll get all dirty and sweaty again. But yeah, that was fun. Very lovely. And I saw a toad, and I tried to get a film of the toad, and then I realised I had my camera over the lens, and it was really difficult because it was in a tree stump, and I was like, toad. I wasn't like, oh, toad, hello, spinach. I got it, and I was like, being quiet so that I'd be like David Attenborough. So I know David Attenborough doesn't actually film the films, but one of David Attenborough's cameramen. So I was like, find it, and then I looked back at the footage, and you couldn't see the toad because it's the same colour as the green in the background, and my thumb was over the lens, and it was like, oh, that's so disappointing. But that's one of the things. If I clean it, there was a lot of millipedes and centipedes and worms, all sorts of insect and animal life. It's very exciting. I don't want to get rid of all of that. That's why I want to keep a little bit of wildness and wilderness in there. I've got some wildflower seeds that fell out of a magazine that I thought I'll put them there. But I'm not going to put them there yet because I want to just enjoy the nothingness for a while. But the blackberries, I was cutting bits up and then pulling, just cutting the roots and going, oh, there's loads of blackberries there. And I was pulling on them going, oh, that feels like it's gonna give. I can't pull from here, so I went to the other way and pulled, and it's big loads of it all came out, loads of it, and then I got all scrambled and that hurt. But I was very excited about that. But I don't want to destroy the habitat for the toads. What did worry me is there was definitely, before we cleared it up, that was where the fox was living. There was a fox living. I don't mind a fox. Foxes are nice, but I think I'm a little bit allergic to them, and it was coming too close to the house and eating the food waste bins and stuff. Not the food waste bins, the stuff in the food waste bins, because my council doesn't collect food waste, because they were told in 2018 that there was going to be something that the London Red decided that everyone's going to collect food waste. So their solution, when they were already collecting food waste, was to have a meeting. I looked at the meeting, and there was 10 people at the meeting, and 6 of them said we should just stop the food waste now and just not bother until we've sorted it out. 4 said no, I don't think so, but the 6 overruled the 4, and so we don't have any food waste collection and haven't had for quite some time. But this is 3 years I've got food waste. It's that big. So the old it wasn't the food waste one, but it was the recycling one from before, because they kept changing their mind about what sort of recycling. We got new food bins and food and recycling bins and all sorts of different things. One of the recycling bins from a time before I've been putting the food waste in it, and it's for 3 years this big, that 3 years worth of food, and it's still not to the top. It's because it goes down, it composts. So, you know, but also squirrels come and eat it, and magpies recently. A magpie, I looked out, there's a magpie. I thought a magpie was following me. I think it might have been following me home from work, because I've seen magpies on the way from work and they sort of eye me up. And I know crows recognise people. I think maybe so do magpies. This magpie came and he was in the food waste bin, or she, and called to its friends. Magpies got an interesting, because they go caw caw, but they also got a little song, a little talking to each other thing, and they sort of sung to each other and cawed to each other, and then hundreds of magpies came in. So there's a lot of, and yesterday when we cleaned it up, one of the magpies landed on the patio and was sort of going caw 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 caw, and then another one came and like whoa caw caw. Yeah, so yeah, magpies definitely have got a whole language, all sorts of different tunes they were singing. And then they had a fight in the trees because there was too many came. So the squirrels and the magpies and the foxes and the toads all come and eat the food waste. But the fox also had dug a big hole right near a wall that was going to come down. And also there was dirt everywhere. I think that's how all the reeds and the plants got got themselves housed on my patio, is because the fox had dug up a big hole and all the dirt went on the patio, and it's like, oh great, now all the plants can come and grow. So I had to shovel all the dirt in back into the hole, and then I put a sort of tree stump on the top of it, and Ollie, my flatmate, was like, where's the big hole the fox made? Is it over there? I'm like, that's where the tree stump is. Wasn't sure why I put the tree stump there, but it was obviously so that at a later date I could go, that's where the hole was, so I'd remember and be able to point it out to people. That probably was it. Anyway, that was fun, and still lots to come, because there's still a lot of blackberries and quite a lot of reeds. One good bit of news, probably the toad is a tip-off, is that the pond's still there, sort of covered in reeds. It's still there, just can't really see it. And there was a football in it, and also I cut some blackberries and there was a football in those, because next door's, there's about 6 or 7 footballs have been kicked over there and sort of landed, and rather than coming to our house and go, hello Mr. Miss, hello person, whatever, hello, can we have our ball back? They don't do that. They just leave it there, and then we find them ages later. And they're very good balls, like expensive looking balls. You would think that they would want them back, but they're obviously very rich. They have a lot of stuff done. They came and offered to buy the shed. And the shed's completely covered in ivy and is horrible, but they haven't come back on it. I think they must have seen it inside and gone, yeah, let's not buy that. That's probably a mistake. We can do better than that. So now I think they're going to do a loft conversion instead. So that's going to be very inconvenient, because they already spent ages. They destroyed my rosemary bush when they put up and this is what I found out recently. They put a scaffolding up in our part of the garden to build their extension, and destroyed my rosemary bush, and it's never come back, and it's like I gave up after that. I can't be bothered. Now I found out recently that if people put scaffolding up in your garden, then you're entitled to compensation, and they're supposed to pay you. They didn't even offer. They're just like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. Because if you do a same sort of thing in your garden, if you make because if we make this giant, huge, much bigger than the plan said it was going to be extension, then that means that the precedent has been set. You can make an extension too. Yes, but we haven't got £1,000 million to make an extension, and we're never going to, because we're not the sort of people that say, hello, hang on, you put scaffolding up in the garden, you should give us money, compensate us. Yes, so nobody likes this video so far. I'm not that surprised. Sometimes I get 1 or 2 likes, but this time none, and it's probably because I'm rattling on about my silly garden. Thank you, person that liked me. Yes, this is just funny angle, isn't it? from above is probably, yeah, there's a lot of space around me. Space. So what I've been doing this week, apart from gardening, is thinking about the Edinburgh Fringe, which is not going to be in a physical sense at all, but will still go ahead in a virtual sense. So going to be looking at the things that we're going to put on. Quite a few nice little plays and comedy and cabaret and all sorts of things. And I've got to think about my own show. Now, what I'm going to do in August is the thing that I did a couple of years ago in the real world was What Is It You Want? Where I just asked the audience, that whoever turned up, I've got these 2 or 3 shows, or I can just make a show. I've got poetry, I just make up some songs for you. I'll do one of the shows that I've done before in Edinburgh, or all of them in a sort of potted way, all that sort of thing. But because it's virtual this year, I'm going to do it every day. Every evening probably, because I want to do day trips in the day, because I'm going to be doing the Edinburgh Festival Fringe in Wales. So I'm going to have to probably ask my parents if they want to pump up their internet so that I can actually get a good signal. But what I'll be doing is, while I'm there, I will say, what is it you want today? Happy Sunday, Richard. Is it Richard? Yes. What I will say is, what is it you want today? And then you will tell me if there's anybody there, and if there isn't, I'll just do what I feel like doing, and I will do the show. I'll do any sort of show, and I'll do it every evening from the 13th of August till getting to the end of August, and I'll do lots of different things, and then I will have things that I will have seen, so I'll probably do some videos as well in the daytime, and the many day trips I'm sure that we'll do, all being well. Let's just... fingers crossed. Lots of Welsh day trips. It will be so fun. We're looking at the castles and everything. And then I can do cookery or art, or I can get my mum and dad to get involved. You say, do you want my mum and dad in it today? Well, that's good. Do you want my dad to do a masterclass? Oh, yeah, he can talk to me while he's doing a masterclass. I don't know anything. I'll do a masterclass. I'm a master of art. I'm not. But I do have an art A-level. I got an E for it. Woo! You can tell, can't you? Got a whole E, but that was mainly because the person that was in charge of the course didn't send in any of my coursework, never turned up to the art history lessons, and just laughed when he destroyed one of my etchings because he gave me the wrong stuff to put it in. You have to etch it. I spent ages etching it. You have to put it in a bath of corrosive substance, and then it eats away at it, and it doesn't leave some of it in. But he put the strong one in, and it ate it away, and it was rubbish. So yeah, have a practice with us now. I'm going to save it all for Edinburgh. This is already a practice. What I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years, which is just talking at you. It'll be like this, only with more of a theme, and I'll have more of a sort of, it'll be more, I have been attempting to be entertaining and comedic and everything, and I usually do say, what is it, that's what I do. This is basically what it is, only it's going to be even more so, because it'll be every day, and it will be more solidly entertainment based in that I will do more things. So I'm going to have to practice really with my guitar, so that if anyone wants any guitar songs, I go, what is it you want? What is it you want? Do you want a song or not? Probably learn to play the guitar before then, that might help. If not, I'll just, hey there, everyone here is going to listen to my terrible guitar playing here. It's a series of chords that don't go together and really never should be put together. But it's all the chords, that's not all the chords I know, but it's a lot of the chords that I know. I don't think I did a D7, did I? I don't think that is a D7. I don't know what they're called. They're just, I vaguely know. I should probably learn, and then I'll know. And then I can do a whole musical comedy show, if that is called, on jazz guitar style, yeah, punk guitar style. maybe I'll work on things. I'll work on my many talents. I've got so many talents, all of them completely talentless talents. You see that? I made some pottery. I made some pretty things that have got things on them. I made an elephant puppet. And I made the puppetry that I do. Oh, this has got stuck on it. The puppetry. Oh, the advanced puppetry. Yeah, it's falling apart already, isn't it? Oh, look, all the glue's coming off on that. Yeah, so, dropped my elephant. Did it break? No, it's still alive. That's not an elephant noise. Yes, I do elephant noises. I can do a whole show of elephant noises. Oh, look, dog rows. That's one of the things I noticed in my garden. In between all the horrible brambles, there's one single dog rose. That doesn't look a lot like that because that's a rubbish dog rose. It's a beautiful dog rose, a little pink one. A rose among the thorns, a veritable rose among the thorns. Ooh. And it's also got a big load of ivy that's grown up. But all these things have got thorns. And one big thing that I've noticed is that if there's a thorn, it will scratch me. And I will get very, very scratched indeed. So that's my plans for the coming months. But I've got work until then. So it's still 7 or 8 weeks until I go to Wales, and I'll go to Wales, and it'll be Edinburgh in Wales. Oh, I'm so excited. Ooh, what else happened this week? Oh, I found a Coinbase. Coinbase is a cryptocurrency storage thing. It's decided to store Dogecoin, and I had some Dogecoin, and I thought, whoa, I'll transfer my Dogecoin, which goes up and down and is not worth a great deal, but is still worth more than it was a year ago, quite a lot more, but still not that much. But I thought, oh, I'll transfer it straight away. The second they told me, oh, you can transfer to Doge, I was like, they didn't actually say that, they said you can trade on it. I was like, all right, yeah, blah, 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 and I immediately did bim bam bam bim boom boom boom. I put it through, and then it said, ooh, it's not going to be immediate. It's going to take at least 5 hours. I'm like, oh. So 5 hours, I was like, oh, is it going to go through? Oh, and I was like, oh, I've made a terrible mistake. And then I was like, well, that was typical me, isn't it? Stupid me. I've lost all of the Dogecoin, and it's just typical. Ha. So I thought, well, I'm quite. I've accepted that already. I've gone through the 5 stages of, oh no, whatever. Good, quick. So I was fine about that, and then I got a thing saying, oh, it has gone through, and I was like, what? Phew. But it'll take 120 something network confirmations or something. I was like, how much does that take? And it said 140, 40 takes like 40 minutes or something. So I was like, oh no, I still have to wait ages. So I was like, is it going to go through? Is it going to go through? Is it going to go through? And it did. And I was like, ooh, how much is that worth? Oh, less than it was when I sent it through. But, and then it went up, and then it went down, and then up, and then it went down, and then up, and then it went down. Ooh, it's so exciting, this thing. It's not real. This is what I was like, when I was like, oh, I've lost it, oh no, ha, ha. It's because it's not real. It's complete nonsense. It doesn't exist in the real world. It's just made up. It's like if I go, I've got a big pile of money. Have you? Yes. Why? Because I say. How do you know? Because I went tick 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 tick. Money, money, money. Is it fiat? It sort of is fiat, and that's the whole thing. When gold and silver, I was trying to buy gold and silver a few years ago because I'm not into conspiracy theories. So the thing is, the people that are into gold and silver are also in the conspiracy theories. So I signed up to, bought some little silver coins, and then the person that sold it to me has been sending me ridiculous emails ever since, which I've sent to spam about, oh, this terrible thing, and it's like conspiracy theories all over the place. I'm like, oh no, in buying silver I've also bought into these ridiculous theories of idiocy. So I was like, well, I'll just forget about that. But one of the big things that all those people are about is, oh, fiat currency, you can't trust that. Oh, physical gold, physical silver, la la la, stock them up, la la la, put them in a pile, make sure that they're all there for the days to come. And I'm like, oh yes, I better do that because maybe things will come. Somebody's unliked me because of doing that. Anyway, And then cryptocurrency, which is sort of concurrently with that, is like the opposite. It's like it doesn't exist at all. So even the experts who go, I know all there is to know about cryptocurrency, it's like it doesn't exist, and that's all you need to know. It's made up, completely made up. But I'd still like it to make me millions and billions of pounds, which it won't do because it's unlikely to do that. But that would be nice, lovely. Yes, yes. My frosted Lucky Charms. I've got a pot of gold, a lovely pot of gold. It's a tiny pot of gold. Fits all my Dogecoin nicely inside. My pot of gold is full of Dogecoin. See the Dogecoin, see how they shine. Anyway, that's why I was so like, ha 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 ha, when I thought I'd lost it. But I haven't lost it. But I probably have, because I really don't know how to get it and turn it into things that I can use. It's just numbers on the screen. It's like, oh, and then it goes up. Ooh, and then it goes down. Ooh, and then it goes up. Ooh, and I go, ooh, it's gone really high. And then I go, oh, no, I've lost it all. Ooh, it's gone back up again. So it's nonsense, but it keeps me entertained. In a way, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, how much is it now? Oh, it's gone up. Oh, it's gone down. Very exciting. It's a silly game, but I like things like the little slot machine games. I try not to gamble because what I do is I'm like, but I play the free ones, and so the free slot machine games, it goes, wee, colours and lights, wee, I've made 50 billion virtual coins that don't exist. Whee! Oh no, I've lost it all. And I'm like, oh, I'm very sad, but it didn't exist. And that's really how I feel about cryptocurrency. If it all disappears, it didn't exist. It never existed. And so I'll be fine. Fine. But if it does suddenly make lots of money, and I can buy a chateau in France or something, then I'm going to have to find some way very quickly to extract it, turn it into actual money that people will take. Although, which country is it? One of the South American countries has just said they're going to take it. They're going to turn Bitcoin into actual coin, and you can actually buy things. It's not Bolivia, it's one of the other ones, beginning with P. Paraguay, no. I can't remember what it is. Try, somebody will know. One of those countries is going to make it real. Paraguay? I thought it was Paraguay, but now I'm like, there's not an A. Is it 2 words? Maybe not Paraguay. I'm not sure now. I just looked at it. I just saw it, and now I've forgotten. Completely forgotten it. All right, so, this week to come, I'm just going to be out and about. I ordered a massive pile of this is not safe for work sort of thing. Toilet paper. Is that a thing that people can talk about in polite society? I suppose it is after the whole last year. That's a normal topic of conversation. Anyway, I bought a big load in about October, which is running out quite quickly. It's like on its last leg. So I ordered some more about a week ago that said it was going to come in 2 days. And now it says it's not going to come until the 15th to the 29th of June at the earliest. And I'm like, oh no, because it's nearly gone and I won't have any. I've got some leaves, obviously, from the garden, but they're all quite spiky leaves, so I don't really want to use those. So I had to order another shopping for Tuesday in order to get more. So I will have some coming on Tuesday and then some more in the week or 2 to come, because I can't wait a week and a half. I don't think that's really a good idea. What am I going to use in the meantime? I don't think that I should do that. So I've got a shopping coming. That's the excitement of the week. It's just wait to the door. Is a shopping coming? Because that's the one thing, because you have a sort of time zone in which they'll deliver between this time and this time. So you have to, so you're like, ooh, waiting. Is somebody coming to the door? And then you have to grab it all. And they don't put it in bags anymore. So you have to sort of scrabble it all. They sort of step back, scrabble it all out of their crate and then put it in your own crate and then put it away. So that's some excitement for the day. My gardening gloves that I bought, I've sent for some more for Tuesday, because I bought some last week at the same time as the toilet paper, and they almost immediately got completely covered in dirt, and they were so shiny and nice. They're completely rubbish now, and they're quite small, and they sort of end there. So that's why it didn't really cover the rest of my hand. And they're supposed to, as I say, supposed to be thorn proof, but they weren't. So I've ordered some more with my shopping. So I last week ordered gardening gloves and toilet paper, and next week I've ordered gardening gloves and toilet paper. It's like a sort of, it is very much like a Groundhog Day for buying the same things over and over again. And eventually it'll be right. I keep doing the same things and making it better the next time. It will be better the next time. I will get different gardening gloves. I think they're cheaper ones this time, so maybe they'll be worse, but they were reduced in price. But if they're cheaper, that means if they don't go right, I won't be so devastated that they've already ruined, because I washed them and they shrunk. There was so much dirt on them, I washed them and they shrunk. And then I thought, I need to do more gardening, and they're still wet because you can't put the radiator on and it wasn't really warm enough. So then they shrank, and then I did some more, and then they were all sort of shrunk on my hands and still dirty, and then I washed them again, and so now they've shrunk even more. So maybe I should have thought about that more. But I was so excited just picking up the spikes and the thorns and everything until blang 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 blang. Another thought, if you get the thorns at the wrong angle. But you know, you live and learn, don't you? You do, you live and learn. So, if anyone wants to, in the next couple of months, suggest things for, you know, I could have for my Edinburgh show in Wales, pre-planned things. It'll be a mixture of pre-planned. So if anybody wants to suggest things, then that would be great. And maybe I'll do more on my Patreon. Patreon, I call it. Patreon, it's called, really. I don't know why I call it Patreon. I've just got the urge to call it anyway. I've got a Patreon, but I don't do much on it. And I think one of the people that's one of my patrons, Patreon patrons, is here. So thank you very much, Philip. And I think I might have 2 or 3 more. And then I really don't do enough to thank my patrons. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, though, because every month I'm like, ooh, I get a couple of pounds, and it buys me a coffee. It literally is about enough to buy me a coffee, because it's about $7, which transfers to about £5, something like that. So yeah, very posh, smart coffee. It's a good coffee. A lovely frothy coffee. I could have extra bits in it coffee. So yeah, it buys me a coffee basically. But all those coffees, I could use all those coffees. I could instead buy Dogecoin with the coffees, and then I'd have nothing at all to show for it. But I don't do that. I should do that. Maybe I should have done that in the first place. If I'd done that last year, then I'd be a billionaire by now. But I didn't do that because I have no foresight. But I have more than nothing in Dogecoin. More than nothing. But do I? Because it is nothing, as I said. It's literally nothing. But it's an exciting little line graph that I watch every day. That's what it is. Entertainment. So if anybody wants to suggest stuff for me to do in my Edinburgh show, which will be the 13th of August until the 30th or the 31st, something like that. And then I can do stuff, and then it will be lovely. And I will leave you to now, and you can go and see real television and real entertainment and all sorts of stuff. Oh, I watched The Masked Dancer. If you don't, I think you've got that in America as well. I watched The Masked Dancer in this country, and I guessed 2 of them right. I was like, that's Howard Donald, and that's probably, they'd given all the clues by then, so it's not a big deal. I was like, Bonnie Langford. I'm definitely sure that's Bonnie Langford and Howard Donald. I didn't get the one that won. But I was very proud of myself, which is very pitiful, and I know it's sad, but I was still, ha-ha! I guessed right. Joy is me. I'm so good at this game. Yeah. So maybe I'll do something like that. I'll be the masked dancer here and I'll do you dance. You can guess who it is. It's me! It's always me! It'll be me every time. But you could still do it. Anyway, I will see you soon. Have a lovely week. I will see you again next Sunday. Maybe I will get the gardening video up before then. The first gardening video. And, I don't know, maybe I'll just laze around and go, oh, I can't. Maybe I'll do more gardening instead and forget about it. Alright, maybe I'll try and find the toad. So bye-bye. See you soon. Bye-bye.